people are part of a religion, just like you have Christians in all these countries. They don't constitute a nation. Most of their history, they have not been in Israel. They have been exiled among other countries. That's where they belong. I heard a story from the former chief rabbi of Israel, Rabbi Israel Meir Lau, at a yard site for my late father. He said, Herzog, asked Toynbee, what countries are real countries? What nations are real nations? And he said, oh, the Italians and the Greeks. They're real nations. They have been there for thousands of years. Jews, most of their history have nothing to do with Israel. He said, let me give you a hypothesis. 3 Olympic airplanes land. The first one lands in Athens. An old man comes out of the airplane. Somebody goes up to greet him. Welcome to Greece. What's your name? And the old man says, my name is Socrates. Socrates, what brings you here? And what brings me here? This is my country. Tell me, how is the Greek Empire doing? The old man looks at him and says, I don't know where you have been, Socrates, but there's no Greek Empire for 2,600 years. He says, you mean Alexander the Great's conquests are gone? He says, yes, for thousands of years. She says, what is Greece? It's a country trying to survive economically. What type of country? A member of NATO. What's NATO? Lectures him about NATO. How is Greek philosophy doing? He says, people are not into Greek philosophy. He says, you mean not every child knows Homer and Socrates and Plato and Aristotle? He says, no, a few professors know them. He says, so what do you talk about in salons and cafeterias? Talk about iPhone 11 Pro, 10, 9, 16, 17. He said, why aren't you speaking ancient Greek? He says, nobody speaks ancient Greek, very few people. Take me to the Acropolis. He says, for $9, I'll show you what's left. Take me to Mount Olympus. Nothing there. Take me to Zeus. Nobody hangs out at Zeus anymore. What do you worship? The Greek Orthodox Church. Socrates says, what's the church? It's a religion, Christianity. Socrates, I've never heard of Christianity. What is it? He says, it's a big religion. What is it? He said, I'll give you the short version. Every Jewish boy growing up in a Jewish home is told by his mother not only that he is God's gift to humanity, but that he is God himself. If you grew up with a Jewish mother, that's the message you heard consciously and unconsciously. However, most Jewish boys are lucky at some point to marry a Jewish wife. And within a few months, usually within a few weeks, and some of your wives within a few hours, they make it clear to you, not only are you not God, not only are you not God's gift to humanity, but the question is if you're entitled to have an opinion. Most Jewish men I know are in therapy for the rest of their life, and the crux of every therapy session is navigating the tension, the cognitive dissonance between what I heard from my mother and what I'm hearing from my wife. That's the struggle of most Jewish men I know. The mother in him says, I am the God. There are no other gods. And the wife wants to know if he's entitled to existence. So he says this is true about every Jewish boy. But Jesus, Yoshka, never got married. And today, 2.8 billion Catholics believe his mother. The truth, every Jewish mother preaches it. He just never got married. Socrates looks at him and says, I don't think this is my Greece. I'm out. And he leaves. Another Olympic airplane lands in Rome. A man emerges, you could see he's a statesman, he has some wounds on his chest. A fellow in the airport greets him and says, welcome to Rome, what is your name? He says, my name is Julius Caesar. He He says, from the Caesar salad. That's where you did that company. He says, in the good days, you would have been beheaded for such a comment. Caesar salad? The Caesar of Rome. How is the Roman Empire doing? He says, the Roman Empire? There's no Roman Empire for 1,700 years, thanks to Constantinople. Constantine. He says, you mean when people hear the word, the name Rome, their hearts are not filled with dread? He says, absolutely not. Take me to the Colosseum. It's for $10, I'll show you the remnants. Take me to the gladiators. They're gone. Take me to the Senate and the steps of the Senate where I utter those fateful words, et tu, Brute. Then Caesar falls. He says, there's no Senate, there's no steps of the Senate. Take me to my gymnasiums. He says, for $7, I'll show you what they excavated. He says, why aren't you speaking Latin? He says, only a few professors speak Latin. He says, so what is Rome? A city in Italy. What's Italy? A member of NATO. What are we famous for? Pasta and pizza. Take me to Jupiter. Nobody worships at Jupiter. What do you worship? We have the Vatican. What's the Vatican? Catholicism, the Pope. What's the Catholicism and the Pope? So I'll give you the brief version. Every Jewish boy grows up. His mother tells him he's God, gets married, finds out he's not. Yoshka never got married, and the rest is history, or actually her story. Julius Caesar looks at him and says, this is not my Rome. Bye-bye. A third Olympic airplane lands in Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. An old man comes out. Somebody comes up to greet him and says two words, Shalom Aleichem. The old man says, Aleichem, Shalom. He says, Ma Shemcha, what is your name? The old man says, my name is Moshe. And the man in the airport says, hey, come on me, Moshe. My name is also Moshe. I'm Moshe from Tbilisi, Georgia. I made Aliyah 7 months ago. They already ripped me off. I have no money left. By the way, I'm looking for an investor. I'm making a big company. I need 20 million shekel. Could you invest? Moshe. And by the way, even if you don't want to invest, I'm collecting for tzedakah. So give me a little charity. It's also good. Moshe, welcome. Where are you from? I'm from Egypt. What brings you here? I came home. Have you ever been here? No. Why do you call it home? There's 40 years I tried getting into this place. Trust me, I have the right to call it home. Moshe from Egypt, welcome home. An old man Moshe says, I have one awkward question. My friend Socrates and Julius Caesar were in such a rush. They ran, and I forgot to take food. Do you have any food in Israel? There's food. That's what we do. Every holiday, they try to kill us. We want, let's go eat. In the restaurant, in the airport itself, we have 73 restaurants. We don't like to go a few feet without food because we Jews have a subconscious fear that every supper might be the last supper. We don't take chances every few feet. There's another tea room or smorgasbord. Moshe says, no, you don't understand. I have this weird diet. What type of diet? Kosher. You have kosher food in Israel? He says, well, now I'm starting not to like you. You think you're the only religious guy? Kosher? Of course we have kosher. Most of the cafeterias in the Ben Gurion Airport are kosher. We have every type of kosher. We have Rabbanut. We have Rabbanut Mahadrin. We have Mahadrin Mina Mahadrin. We have Glat. We have Rabbi Landa. We have Badat. We have Eda Acharedis. We have semi-glot, almost glot, glot style, kosher style, French glot, Vietnamese kosher, Thai kosher, Japanese kosher, even Chinese kosher. Moses says, that's wonderful, I'll be able to have a meal. Gewaldig. Moshe says, one more thing, I was in such a rush, I forgot something called talit and tefillin. Do you have this in Israel? So of course, now I'm really starting not to like you. You think you're the only one? He rolls up his sleeve, he says, look! You can see the scraps of the tefillin. Just now the Chabadniks kidnapped me in the airport. They have a kidnapping office, a room, they schlep you. They say, stay d'accord, 2 minutes, you're Jewish. They slap you, they do it. They'll kidnap you too, they'll be happy. Put on tefillin, shema, and you're off. Of course we have kalas and tefillin. And Moses comes down. And as they walk through the door, Moshe from Georgia goes, mwah! Moshe says, what are you kissing the door? He says, shame on you, you don't know what this is. What is it? He says, there was another man, Moshe, who told us to have on every doorpost scrolls of the Hebrew Bible, and we kiss it every time we go in and out. He says, come, and I'll show you where you could put on the talis and tefillin. As he walks into the little shul in Ben Gurion Airport, Moshe sees a father and a son waiting for their flight. Father tells his son, let's learn a little Torah. They open up a Chumash. The father reads together with his son a verse. Vayedaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor, and God spoke to Moses, saying, and 2 large tears, which you may call pearls, streamed down from Moses' eyes as he stood in modern-day Israel, as Professor Herzog turns to Professor Toynbee and says, Professor Toynbee, if Socrates, Julius Caesar came back today to Athens or Rome, what would they receive? Not the same culture, not the same God, not the same tradition, not the same values, not the same philosophy, not the same theology, not the same belief system, not the same traditions, not the same language, and not the same faith. All they would encounter is the same geographical place, soil. If Moses came back today to Israel, what would he encounter? He would encounter people speaking the same language, worshiping the same God, following the same traditions, observing the same mitzvahs, the same stale matzah that they ate 3,300 years ago in the Sinai desert. They are still eating, and you can taste how old the matzah is when you eat it. And you don't tell me that this year the matzah is delicious. Because I'm still waiting for one yenta to serve matzah at her son's bar mitzvah. Okay? If it's so good, you serve it at your son's bar mitzvah, big talker, or your daughter's wedding. The same ram's horn that created migraine headaches 2,000 years ago still create headaches. We're still shaking the same willows and myrtles, celebrating the same Shabbos, wearing the same tzitzis, same tefillin, same talis, reading the same Torah texts, worshiping the same deity, arguing about the same things, and following the same traditions. Professor Toynbee, Greece, Italy is a nation, and Israel is not the nation. If Israel is not the nation, Professor Toynbee, you tell me, what is a nation? And then I understood the poles on the ark. The poles on the ark are one of the profoundest visionary statements about Jewish history. Namely, what should have happened from a natural historical perspective is that when Jews were exiled from their homeland, when their commonwealth was decimated, their political and military independence destroyed, what should have happened was what happened to every other great empire and small in the history of civilization. Where is ancient Egypt? Where is ancient Babylonia, Greece, Persia, Rome, Byzantine? Where's Nebuchadnezzar? Where's Haman? Where's Ahasuerus? Where's Titus, Caligula, Tiberius, Caesar, Pompey, Titus, Vespasian, Adrian? Where's Turcomedes? Where's Khmelnytsky? Where's Alfred Rosenberg? Where's Himmler, Eichmann, Stalin? Where are they? The answer is in Wikipedia. Where are the Jews? And the answer is we created Wikipedia together with Facebook and Google and Instagram, because you can go onto Wikipedia and edit the obituary for Pharaoh and Haman. You can type and edit the obituary for the Persian minister Haman, as you can do for Turkamadeh, and as you can do for Adrian. But it's not just that we like to outlive our enemies and write their obituaries. We like to eat them. We took Pharaoh, and we turned him into a matzah ball. We took Antiochus and we turned him into a latke. We took Haman, as we're going to do right now, and turn him into a hamantash. You see, we don't only want to outlive our enemies, we want our cholesterol, our fat reserves to grow from our enemies. We like to eat them. President of Brooklyn College, they wanted to know, it was Hanukkah. She said, Rabbi, why do you guys eat so many latkes and donuts on Hanukkah? I was not in the mood of telling her, because the oil was supposed to burn for 1 day, but it burned for 8 days. So that's why, in commemoration of that, we take latkes and donuts and we deep fry them in oil that comes from the 8 days that it was burning. That works for Jews. So I needed a simple reason. I said it's very simple. Hanukkah represents our victory over the Greeks. The Greeks were into 4 things: looks, fashion, Olympics, and sports. So we eat as many latkes and donuts as possible to ensure we will never, ever look like them. Even look. So, you like that? Okay. Yeah. Present company, of course, excluded. You all look beautiful and slim tonight. Just keep it easy on the dessert when it comes. How did this miracle happen, my friends? Why, when Julius Caesar comes to Rome, or Socrates comes to Athens, besides touching the same geographic soil, nothing is the same. But if Moses walks into Israel today, so much will be the same. Same Shabbos, same Yom Tov,